for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate it. And thank you, witnesses, for being here as well. Dr. Horton, many of the Green New Deal proponents are suggesting that greenhouse gas emissions are at a catastrophic level, some of which are claiming that we have 12 years left. Do we have 12 years, in your opinion? Just keep it as brief as you can, if you don't mind. I've got some other questions, too. You need to turn on your microphone.
The further we turn up the dial on greenhouse gas emissions, the greater the risk of potential surprises that are very hard to predict.
So we're getting close to that point then, in other words. And also, do you think it's responsible for some of our nation's leaders and the media to suggest that certain doom will arrive unless we adopt the new Green Deal policies?
I can't speak to the specifics of Green New Deal policies. What I can say is that to the extent that it represents an appreciation of the urgent need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, I agree that's something that we really do need to do given the hazards I described in my testimony.
Okay, thank you. Because some of these policies may cost some jobs, and some of the costs that we've heard have been stunning. And Dr. Cooley, do you think that the new Green Deal should be passed into law?
Well, I'm not here to talk about the Green New Deal, but what is new?
Do you think it's a good idea that that it's been put forward?
The Green New Deal has started a conversation about details, which we haven't had before. We're having discussions across the aisle about the future we want and the specific ways we can get there. And that is incredibly inspiring as a scientist who's interested in details and solutions. How do we get from here to there?
Okay.
That's a really tough question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Dr. Frazier, what are some of the solutions that you think will aggressively target climate change that might not hurt American families or the economy? Because some of the proponents of the new Green Deal have put forward these provisions that would absolutely hurt my District 36 in Texas and much of the economy. Give me some ideas that you have of what might be some of these solutions that wouldn't be so hurtful because of my constituents' concerns for my constituents.
Well, as I said in my testimony, I think that there are lots of vulnerable habitats out there, for example, that are affected by a large number of stressors. And if we could make sure that we manage and maintain those habitats, they would continue to play a role in ameliorating some of the risk associated with climate change, but not entirely. So I would pay attention on proper management of the habitat so they don't continue to degrade. Seagrasses would be one of those, kelp habitats, and others.
Absolutely, thank you. Let's see, Dr. Frazier, one more. If the United States does implement the new Green Deal, how would we keep American jobs here? Or, in your opinion, would costs rise as much as some of these? I mean, we've looked at $93 trillion of costs to the American taxpayer. In your opinion, is that true? We've seen time and again that green companies take their production overseas for cheaper cost and production. So how do we address this? You know, when the American taxpayer is expected to foot the bill for some of the biggest polluters in the world, China being one of them, it doesn't seem fair. What is your opinion there? What are your thoughts?
So again, what I would say is that what we've heard today is that there's an investment that needs to happen with regard to data collection, and it's all kind of data collection from innovation and technologies, modeling, and real-time data collection. With regard to the area that I'm mostly involved in, fisheries, that increased data collection actually increases the certainty by which we can estimate the stocks that we can access. And by increasing that certainty, we can actually exploit more fishes, and that actually ends up being an economic benefit. So sometimes in order to make money, you have to pay money, sure, right? Yeah. And so I think what we should be thinking about is making wise investments and getting good return on those investments.
Do you think the new Green Deal is a good thing that should be passed into law?
I'm not going to speak specifically to the new Green Deal because I haven't read it. I apologize.
Okay. All right. Well, Madam Chair, I think that finishes